Hello everybody. Today we're going to be diving into your shadow side. We're going to be seeing where the shadow stems from, how your shadow presents itself, and then how we can work on going forward and healing that. So we have 5 piles because they're going to be a little bit shorter, straight to the point messages today. We have pile number 1 with this seashell. Pile number 2 with this, I think it's crystal quartz. I'm not sure if it's a rock or a crystal. I'm not sure. It's not mine. 3 with this rock. 4 with this little palm stone. And then 5 with this big fat white rock. Okay. All right. Timestamps are down below. And we're going to be starting with pile 1. Hello, pile number 1. For those of you who chose this little seashell guy, this is your reading. So we're going to be going into where your shadow stems from, what it presents itself as, or how it presents itself in your waking life, and then how to heal it, how to move forward. And then we'll get maybe some additional messages from Spirit, see what they want to say to you guys. So let's dive straight in with this first card. Immediately, actually, I feel like you guys could be like water signs, or you could be people that have like a water moon, a water Venus, a water Mars, something like that. You could have all 3, water, moon, Venus, and Mars. But I'm getting very, like, I heard Oshun. I'm getting big Oshun vibes from here. All right, where does your shadow stem from? We have the 3 of Pentacles. So what I'm getting here, automatically what I heard was negligence and abandonment. You guys might have been the type of people where your parents didn't necessarily give you the help that you needed, or it sort of seems like throughout your life with this 3 of Pentacles, you sort of have had to do everything yourself. I feel like you guys might have dealt with a lot of abandonment issues, with maybe like people leaving, or empty promises, you know, stuff like that. You might have had to deal with like one parent that was constantly, you know, like back and forth from work, like maybe like a military parent, or a parent that worked like in another city, another state, or something like that, to where they had to be gone. I am feeling some sort of abandonment issues, and also an issue when it comes to connectivity. You guys might have or find yourself having a hard time actually deeply connecting with people. And it might seem a little contradictory, because I do feel like you guys are heavily based, or you guys heavily work with your emotions. You guys work heavily through your emotions. Sorry. But it seems as though like genuine connection might be hard for you to make, because of this negligence, this abandonment, this whatever this is for you specifically, I feel like it's caused a runner behavior within you that causes you to run if people get too close. So like if you start to, you know, like if you start to talk to somebody and you realize that you really start to have feelings for this person, and you know this person, you know, having feelings for you, you might have a tendency to run before it gets too good, you know, because it's like deep down, maybe this isn't for me, or deep down this person's gonna leave me just like everybody else left me. Like I said, you guys might have had to do everything by yourselves. So it's sort of like, it's very difficult for you guys when you need to rely on somebody, or when somebody tells you, hey, you can rely on me for this, or hey, I will do this for you. I feel like you guys are not the type to believe in promises. Like when people promise you something, you're like, okay, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. That type of energy right here. Can I clarify this 3 of Pentacles, please? Where does this stem from? Where does their shadow stem from? I heard hurt and pain. Yeah, the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands. You could have felt when you were younger that you were always having to compete for people's attention or compete for the love that you should innately, like deserve. Because I feel like you guys need to hear this. You are born worthy of love. Like, if you are born with nothing, you are born with worthiness for love. You are born worthy for love. You don't have to work to get that love. You don't have to be a certain way to get that love. You don't have to put on a certain face to get that love. And I'm sorry if people may have treated you in your life like you had to do certain things to get people's love, because that's definitely not the truth. And I do feel a lot that your shadow does stem from having to prove yourself, either because people were leaving you or because people underestimated you. It's sort of like, I just feel like you guys were very unappreciated. Or you might have felt that you were very unappreciated. Your parents might have had a difficult time showing this emotional love. It could be like a situation where you guys know that your parents love you, but they had a difficulty showing it, so sometimes it's hard to believe it. And sometimes it also is hard to believe in yourself. All right, let's see what your shadow side is. We have the Temperance and Five of Pentacles. I believe that the most prominent part of your shadow side, guys, is people pleasing. And this makes so much sense with this right here. It would make a lot of sense that somebody who grew up with abandonment issues, or grew up with negligent parents, or grew up with very emotionally unavailable parents would be the type of children to people please, especially if you did grow up with like the mindset instilled in you that you have to give something in order to receive love, or you have to give something in order to receive this appreciation, this comfort, this nurturing that you should have just got, So with this Temperance right here and this Five of Pentacles, I'm definitely seeing like your shadow side. Like I said, it's people pleasing. It's sort of like you see that somebody has a problem and you go to fix it. And this is beautiful. Like, it's beautiful to help people. It is beautiful to help people. That is amazing that you have a heart to help people like this. But you also need to realize that people pleasing and trying to fix everybody's problems all the time is also a trauma response, okay? So I want you guys to think about that too, okay? And I feel as though with you guys, this people pleasing goes to like an extent where you choose other people before yourself. I do feel as though you choose other people before yourself. You put other people's happiness before your happiness. Spirit wants to tell you you don't need to fix everything. You're not Bob the fucking Builder, guys. Like, you have no need to do everyone's work for them. All you have to do is work on yourself. And this might be really, really difficult for you guys, because you guys might have been the caregivers for your parents. You guys might have been the children that had to grow up real fast and raise themselves. Or grow up real fast and raise your siblings and stuff like that. So it might just come so naturally for you to always pick up other things off of other people's plates. And yeah, the confirmation. You might just so naturally just pick up things off of people's plates and then just do the work, because you can do it, because you understand that you can. And I feel like I feel like in your childhood, you might have grown up with a parent that was emotionally, like I said, emotionally unavailable, emotionally not there, emotionally distant, emotionally immature. Some of you guys could have definitely dealt with an emotionally immature parent that acted like a child. Some of you guys could have definitely had to parent your parents. So it's like you automatically, when you see that people have these problems, you just want to pick them up because it's like, I know that I can deal with them. But can you deal with them? Is this really going to hurt you like that? Because if this is going to hurt you like that, I'd rather just deal with it myself. That's definitely the type of energy that I'm getting here from your shadow. Your shadow definitely comes across as people-pleasing, and I'm also hearing manipulation. But and I feel like for most of you with this manipulation, you guys don't try to manipulate people, but it's just a tactic that you've learned since you were younger. Since you learned from a very young age or very early age that your needs would not be met unless blank, you've learned to come up with reasons for your needs to be met. So I'm trying to come up with an example. I apologize, guys. I'm trying to come up with an example and I just cannot come up with an example. But a lot of the times when we grow up realizing that our needs aren't going to be met unless we bring blank to the table, then we're going to find little loopholes and ways to get our needs met without having to do so much work. Because at times it gets tiring when you feel like you have to work for your love, right? It gets really fucking bothersome and excruciating at times. So I feel like manipulation might be a form of flattery. I don't know why. That's not how the saying goes, but I don't know why I heard that. Some of you guys might feel that if you don't manipulate people or if you don't spin something in a certain way, you're not going to get your needs met. All right, let's see. Any other aspects of their shadow that you'd like to bring out, please, Spirit? We have suspiciousness is a quality of distrust and belief. Give yourself reasons why you feel this. So if you feel very suspicious, distrustful, and unsure about people, I feel like you guys might be very overly suspicious of people, because it's like, are you sure that you're gonna actually do what you said? Are you sure that you're not gonna hurt me? Are you sure that, you know, I can trust you? And I feel like this stems from you guys not getting your needs met in your childhood, you know? So it's sort of like you guys overpour into your relationships, and when you don't feel as though that person's giving you exactly back everything that you're giving them, even if you're over giving, then it may seem hard for you guys to believe that this person reciprocates those feelings towards you. We have prejudice. What if you were categorized into a group and given attributes that were false without truly knowing who you are? So take that one as it resonates. I'm not going to speak on that one. We'll just leave that for whoever it might or may not resonate for. And then we have envy. Remind yourself that no one has it all. It's okay to celebrate others' successes. You are truly good enough. That's beautiful. Some of you guys, your shadow side might be heavy with the energy of envy, the energy of jealousy, seeing other people having this beautiful relationship with their parents or with their significant others, being very secure, very safe, you know, feeling very safe, stuff like that. And you just don't feel this way. So it's a little bit difficult not to be jealous or envious of what other people have, because it's like, we want that, you know? But Spirit is saying that this energy of envy is only going to keep you in a low vibration. It's okay. Like, you just got to work on dealing with these root issues so that you can get rid of all this lower level energy that stems from these issues. I do feel like a lot of you guys might try to avoid bringing up these issues, these childhood issues, because they do hurt, or because you don't want to see maybe a parent in that light, you know? But there comes a time where you have to look at everything as what it is and not what you want it to be. And that might be very difficult. It might be very difficult to step out of other people's problems and go into your own. Because this people pleasing might also be a tactic to where you don't have to deal with your, you know, like this people pleasing, sorry, not the people pleasing. This being a fixer, trying to fix everybody's problems might also be like a coping mechanism that you don't notice that you have, that you exhibit when you feel the need to escape from your own reality. So it's sort of like picking up other people's problems so that I don't have to deal with my own problems, you know, because I'd rather deal with other people's problems because they're not that personal. They don't hurt that much, you know? All right. And let's see what we can do going on from here. The Two of Cups. Wow. This is all about self-love. All about working to find yourself. Embracing all of you, not just a part of you. We have the roses right here, but I noticed there's like no thorns on them. You guys might only feel that you're worthy or feel that you're good enough or feel that you're beautiful when you're acting in a positive light. You guys might have this really, it's like this big distaste or hatred or dislike for any part of you that you feel is maybe too much. So like maybe some of you really hate your anger or really hate your, you know, the way that you feel fearful. Maybe some of you really hate your people pleasing. You know, there's like certain things within yourself. I keep on getting the word hate. You need to replace that hate with love and acceptance. This isn't saying you have to love the fact that you're angry as fuck and grow off the handle, and this is just an explanation. And this is just an example. But that's not saying that you have to love, you know, like your toxicity. But you have to realize that your toxicity stems from pain and trauma and wounding. And it's not just you being toxic because you want to be toxic. It stems from pain, trauma, and wounding. And until we fully accept ourselves, both sides, light, dark, good, bad, and ugly. I just saw 1717. Then we're not going to be able to fully heal unless we fully accept ourselves, thorns and all. Spirit really wants to remind you guys again that you are worthy of love from yourself, from other people, from your parents, from those people who should have given you love when you were younger and they didn't. You are so worthy of love. Don't allow anybody who maybe didn't show you that love convince you that you're unworthy. Okay? Anything else that they need to hear about how they can move on, how they can heal this, other than their self-love? The Two of Pentacles. Yeah, and the Chariot. Stop juggling other people's problems. Allow yourself to move on. Pick and choose your battles. If this is something that you can help someone with that is your business, okay. But if it is none of your business, not your problem, that's a them problem. And as harsh as it may seem, sometimes they need to deal with it themselves. Sometimes by stepping in and constantly doing people's work for them, we allow ourselves basically to enable them to stay. We allow ourselves to enable them to stay in the same vibration, because these people, they're dealt these problems, they're dealt these obstacles, these lessons for a reason, so that they can get through them themselves, and so that they can level up energetically, mentally, physically. If we keep on doing it for them, they're never going to learn, they're never going to level up, they're going to stay where they are. And so are we, because we're fighting battles that aren't ours. It's sort of like, I can't give you all the answers, that type of energy. I can't give you all the answers. You can't give everybody all the answers. Just because you may know, or you may feel as though this way is the best way to do it, that doesn't mean that it is your job to take up this responsibility of other people's problems. Okay, let's get a couple words of advice from Spirit. All 4 of them. We have forgive and forget. Forgive your parents. Not for you. Not for them, but for you. You're not forgiving anybody to say, and forgiving anybody isn't to say what you did was okay, but it is saying, I'm not going to allow what you did and how you hurt me to continuously affect me anymore. So we have change tracks. Take that as it resonates. Focus on success. Yeah. And then we have make a plan. All right, guys, take these as you feel they resonate. I hope this message resonated with you guys, and I will see you guys later. Hello, pile 2, those of you who chose this little rose quartz, or what I think is a rose quartz. This is your reading. We're going to be getting into where your shadow stems from, what core issues, traumas, wounds your shadow stems from, how your shadow presents itself in the physical, and then how to work on that, how to move forward. Okay, so first off, so where does your issues stem from? Where does your shadow stem from? I feel like it stems from a lot of relationships in your life. I feel like it definitely does stem from oh, my throat's like so itchy. We're gonna address that in a second, because I do feel like there's some throat chakra work that needs to be going on with this pile. For some of you guys, it's accepting that your parents' relationship wasn't as healthy as you thought it would have been, or as you thought it was. With this Lovers right here, your shadow, listen, confirmation. I'm gonna wait for that to pass real quick. Loud ass fucking airplane. So with this Lovers right here, I feel like a majority of your problems a majority of your shadow side is triggered. I'm not going to say necessarily stems from relationships, because I don't feel like it stems from your personal romantic relationships. I feel like it stems from your parents' relationship dynamic. But I feel like it's triggered by your relationship dynamics. Okay, where does their shadow stem from? Can you clarify this? Lovers, please, Spirit. Thank you. Oh, all right, damn. Ace of Wands on the back. 3 of Wands. You might have grown up with like a parent that cheated on another parent, or a parent that left your other parent for someone else. I'm hearing choose me. Okay, so you might have had to grow up with a parent who was very emotionally and mentally distraught because somebody left them. You might have, very Okay, a lot of different scenarios are coming to my mind, but then again, we have a lot of people, you know, like in the collective. So take it as it resonates. I'm going to say everything that comes to my mind. So for some of you, this could have been a parent that cheated on your other parents, and this caused you to have these issues. For some people, you could okay. So I'm getting two scenarios for the cheating scenario. For some of you, if your parent did cheat, some of you, they stayed together and you had to grow up seeing their toxic relationship dynamic, maybe seeing one parent get treated like just not the greatest. You might have seen like one parent constantly going and choosing other people over your parent, like over your other parent. Or another scenario with this cheating thing, it could be like one parent cheated on this, you know, your other parent, and then they left for somebody else, and then the parent that you were stuck with or living with, it was very emotionally distraught, very emotionally unable to cope, very distant. You could have, for some of you, you could have, this doesn't have to be with both of your parents. For some of you, you could have grown up in like one parent household where the parent that you lived with was very, like, they put a lot of emphasis on their relationships. They were very relationship oriented, or very romantically relationship oriented. For some of you, your parents might have passed away when you were younger, and this really left you with like abandonment issues, feeling like anything can happen at any time. But there's definitely big abandonment issues here. And I do feel like sometimes you saw maybe a parent accept less than what they deserve. So now you, in turn, accept less than what you deserve in your connections and in your relationships. Because with this Three of Wands and the moths are about death, rebirth, transformation, just like butterflies are. And the Three of Wands is all about moving forward, going, you know, achieving your dreams, stuff like that. And the Five of Swords is about lies and deception. And look at how she's like all upset. I know you probably can't really see her face. She's like all upset, all pissy and shit like that. But she over here digging for these two little crystals down there. But she don't look like she's very happy. So you guys could definitely choose to stay in like relationships or something like that is just not your highest good because you saw another parent do this. And it just made you, it sort of like gave you the mindset that we have to work it out. But Spirit's saying sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's better to leave. Don't stay in toxicity. We have the Queen of Swords for how your how your shadow self comes out. So your shadow self might come out as very, very harsh, very mean. You guys might have a very, very sharp tongue. You guys might throw words like daggers. I feel as though for some of you, it's like this relationship dynamic or this toxic connection that you grew up around, or that you were used to seeing these type of connections in your childhood, really made you codependent. And for some of you, it made you like super hyper independent and like really not afraid to stand your ground, not afraid to snap on somebody, not afraid to put somebody in their fucking place. That's what I'm getting from you guys. Okay? Can you give me more about their shadow self? Six of Cups and the Page of Swords. So it's sort of like, yeah, you guys, what I'm getting here is that you guys might have dealt with this type of relationship in your own connections in the past, and it's like now, since you guys have been fucked over, hurt and everything, and plus the hurt and wounding from this, you know, parental, guardian, whatever connection it was, it's like it made you into a very, very hard version of yourself, let me say. I'm trying to articulate it correctly. I feel as though you guys pride yourself on saying the truth. You guys might be very truthful, but very brutally honest. And I feel like at times this is very toxic because I'm hearing you guys might justify the toxicity with, oh, I've been hurt before, I'm not being hurt like that again. For some of you, you fly way too hard off the handle sometimes. And don't feel like I'm coming for you guys. This is like fucking me too. Like, for some of you, you're very brutally honest, but also some of you, your shadow side can come off as being a little bit materialistic. Wanting people for what they have to offer you, because it's like you were shown before in the past, you know, that people are just gonna do me dirty. So it's like sort of like you might go into relationships or connections right now expecting people to do you dirty. So in turn, you just take what you can take from people. You get what you can get from people before they inevitably fuck you over. You know, that's sort of the energy that I'm getting right here. You guys might be very non-committal, not taking many suitors, or like I don't know why I talk like an old person. But you guys might not take many lovers, or might not take many people, you know, might not go on a lot of dates. You guys might take many lovers, take many, you know, people, like go on a lot of dates with different people, fuck around with different people, because it's like you don't want to settle down. It's like I'd rather be in like this not really fulfilled but fulfilled a little bit energy than be with somebody who I feel like I could have that ultimate fulfillment with and then have them leave me or have them cheat on me and fuck me over. That's sort of the energy that I'm getting right here. It's sort of like your shadow is like a wall. Your shadow is like a wall that you put in front of you, and you don't let anybody come in, and you don't let anything get out. You don't let your feelings, your emotions, or any of that get out, and you don't let any love come in. I just saw 1111. You need to work on your self-love, your self-worth, and your self-respect, and your boundaries. Know that boundaries are not walls. Walls keep everything out. Boundaries show people where the door is. Okay? Okay. So, how do we heal this? How do we work on this? The Four of Cups. I heard unbinding. Detaching yourself from the connections from people that you've grown up with or people that you've lived with and stuff like that. So detaching yourself and your experiences from other people and their experiences. Just because your parents went through blah, blah, blah doesn't mean you're going to go through it. Just because your friends or your aunties or your uncles or da-da-da-da went through it doesn't mean you're going to go through it. You know, you need to allow yourself to put the past in the past and allow other people's problems to be other people's problems, not your problems. Because what you're doing is you're taking this, oh, this happened to them, and you're being so fearful that it's going to happen to you. And what you're doing is you're manifesting that into your life by putting so much energy into that fear that, oh, well, you know, I've got to leave before this person hurts me, or, you know, like I've got to get what I can get because, you know, this person, it's sort of like play them before they play you energy. And that energy is very depleting for you. It's very, very depleting for you. Is there any other shadow aspects that you would like to tell pile 2 about? And then we're going to get a little bit more on how they can heal it. Impatient. Look for patterns of your impatience. Notice the negative physical symptoms it causes you. Take deep breaths and slow down. Take that as it resonates. Breath work could really be beneficial for you guys. Inconsistent. Think about if your thoughts, actions, and routines are consistent. Does it serve you well on a daily basis? This is definitely what I was getting at, this inconsistency, because it's sort of like, yes, I want love. Yes, I'm wishing for love. Yes, I'm trying to manifest this love. But as soon as this love comes in, I shut it the fuck out and I don't want it because what if it hurts me? You know? So, take this as it resonates, but that definitely, I feel, definitely resonates for this pile. And get more consistent. If you want to have love or bring love in your life, put out that energy that's going to bring it in. You know, you got to work on that fear. You got to work on understanding, like I said, detaching yourself from other people's connections, detaching yourself from other people's pain and other people's trauma, because I feel like you guys are a sponge. And it's sort of like when people go through things around you, it feels like you're going through it yourself, because you're so sensitive to these energies. So it would be a good idea to do a cord cutting, a clearing, a releasing of anybody whose trauma that you notice you might inadvertently take on as your own trauma. We have right here, greed. You are too attached to things in an excessive way. Nothing good comes out of it. Take this as it resonates, but that definitely does go back to when I was saying the materialistic. And it's not like you guys, like I said, your traumas don't stem from like trying to be like better than anybody or like whatever. They stem from pain and wounding and trauma. Okay, so like even if you see these things that you don't like about yourself, just know that they're things that you need to heal. And that's it. It's nothing like that. You're not defined by these negative aspects of your personality. You're defined by what you do about them. Okay, guys? All right. Let me get some more advice from my pile 2s. Speak up. Speak up. Speak out. Speak loud and speak strong. I'm hearing with this speak up card, allow yourself to speak your truth. Be honest with yourself. When I said you never let anything out and you also never let anything in, sometimes you have to let your emotions out. If you love somebody, tell them that you love them. That's what I'm hearing. If you love somebody, tell them that you love them. It doesn't hurt to say I love you. I heard, but if it isn't reciprocated, it definitely does. But it really doesn't. Spreading love is only going to bring us more love. So we have say no. This could be a specific message for somebody concerning something they're going through right now. If you needed to hear this answer, it is say no. And the speak up, say no might be about you needing to enforce boundaries so that you don't have to have up these walls. Because you guys might put up these walls because you feel as though if you don't put up these walls, everybody's just going to step on you. But that's not the truth. You can have small, short not small, short boundaries. I'm saying it the way that I'm visualizing it. So I envision walls as like these huge, like thick ass brick walls. Nobody's getting through that. But I envision boundaries as like the white picket fence, you know? It's not as big or intimidating or scary, but you see the gate right there and you see where you can leave, you know? So it's sort of like, instead of putting up these walls, speak your mind. Tell people what is and what is not acceptable. And then you can work on lowering them walls down, because your boundaries will do all of the protecting work that you need. Because once you energetically or vibrationally are not accepting something, it will not be allowed to come into your life or allowed to come into your vibration. Accept disappointments gracefully. And then we have reassess. Okay. All right, guys. Take those as they resonate. I'm not going to go any further on them because I feel like some of them could be very personal messages. Okay, guys. So I hope this reading resonated with you guys. Love you guys. See you later. Hello, pile 3, those who have chose this fat rock big boy over here. Okay, so we're going to be getting into your shadow side, where it stems from or what it stems from, how it shows itself or presents itself, and then how to heal from that, how to move forward. So 8 of Wands. I'm hearing gotta go. And we're gonna be late. The White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. We're gonna be late. Tick tock. I think I need to get a clarifier on this. This is interesting. I feel like a lot of your shadow stems from past lives. A lot of your shadow stems from past lives. Past lives in which you were controlled and tried to force to fit a mold. I just saw 111 when I said that. Yeah, in this past life, I feel as though, yes, you guys were forced to do something that you... I'm hearing from Shrek when she's like, you're forcing me to do something that I really don't want to do. Like, and then she pulls up and then she orders the fucking, like, fast food. But, yeah, it's like you guys were forced to do something or do things in your past lives that you really, really didn't want to do. Or, you know, it's like you guys were used for the benefit of other people. If you don't already know or suspect that you're going through a lot of past life shadow work right now, this probably isn't your pile. Not gonna lie to you. If you haven't had past lives come up some sort of way somehow lately, this is not your pile. But yeah, it's sort of like you guys might have... Okay, you might have been doing something that you wanted to do, but not doing it the way that you wanted to do it. So, like, let's say, like, you were you wanted to help people, but you were forced to be a doctor. Or, let's say you were a prophet and you were like a psychic and you liked helping people with your gifts, but then there are people who tried to make money off of you, people who tried to capture you, imprison you, trying to make money off of you, those type of things. I'm bringing that up specifically because that's my past life, and I feel like maybe there might be other people here that resonate. But yeah, I definitely do feel like, yes, look. We have so many wands here. Page of Wands, 8 of Wands. That's the Emperor. And then we have the Ace of Wands right here. And look on their hand. It's like they know the way. Do you know the way? Oh my God. You guys are funny. And Spirit's saying you need to tap into your humor because you're going through a lot of dark energies right now. You're purging a lot of dark energies right now. You're safe. You're protected. So don't think that I'm telling you that, like, there's darkness or evil entities around you, because you're safe and you're fully protected. But you guys are going through a lot of lower vibrational energies so that you could purge them right now. With this Ace of Wands, this is definitely wanting to embark and go on a journey, but not being allowed to because there was somebody who controlled you. So past lives, in your past lives, there was definitely a male figure that controlled you. And so in this life, you might find yourself having a very complicated relationship with other males or masculine energies. You might have a very, very complicated relationship with authority. You guys might be like Aquarians or an Aquarius North Node, Aquarius Mercury, Aquarius Mars, something like that. Because this is very much like, this is like controlling ass energy. And I feel like what this did in these past lives is make you in this life like super hyper independent, or super like, I don't fucking need you, don't touch me, don't talk to me, don't look at me, you're not gonna control me, that type of thing. You guys might be the type of people that where you don't even let somebody have a say in what you wear, because how are you gonna control what I wear? That type of energy here. I'm definitely getting, like I said, we're not going to go too much on this because this is going to be different for everybody, because everybody has different past lives. But your shadow definitely stems from a past life where you were either forced to do something that you didn't want to do, or controlled by somebody. Yeah, either way, you were forced to do something. You were forced to benefit other people. Whatever it is, whether it's like you had like physical things that people wanted, or you were like a psychic or a prophet or something like that. Whatever you had, it definitely benefited other people. And it's like you were okay with it benefiting other people, but you were just never allowed to have your own space, your own life. And it just really depleted you. You were always doing things for the benefit of other people, and never did anybody think about the benefit of you. This may leave you in this life feeling, always putting other people's opinions, their feelings, their thoughts, and their hurt above your own. So like, let's say you need to make a certain decision, but you know that this decision is the best decision for you and it's going to make you the most fulfilled, but it might hurt somebody. You guys might keep yourself from making that decision because you know it's going to hurt that other person. Even though you know it's going to bring you your utmost happiness, you know it's going to hurt that other person. So you stay where you're at. You stay people pleasing, or you stay just like, you know how you felt before. And you don't want to make anybody feel like that. So you hold back from doing what is right for you. And you need to stop that. Okay? How does your shadow, wow. How does your shadow show itself? We have the 8 of Cups right here, and I'm going to get a clarifier as well. This is like you, like either, I feel like, because I'm getting 2 different energies, but I feel like both of the energies could be like you. I don't feel like it's different people, different situations. I feel like it's like a very back and forth type energy. I feel like there are certain situations in which you will just be like, fuck that, I'm out, what the hell? And you'll just up and leave very, very quickly. And I do feel like there are other situations where you sort of, like I said, you allow yourself to sit in that negative energy. You allow yourself to sit and deal with things that you deserve way better than because of other people. Like, look at all these cups. Look at all these cups up here. She got 1 cup in her hand. Look at all these cups. And look, this big geometric, sacred geometry thing behind her. It's like she has all the knowledge. She has the alignment. She is the high priestess. That's what I'm hearing. She is the high priestess. She also looks like the lady who's in the temperance card. So you guys are very spiritual, or you're very, very, very intelligent, very knowledgeable, very wise. Okay. And it's like you guys are leading this collective, but until you make the moves, the collective is held back as well. I don't know why I'm feeling like I need to tell you that. But your shadow might portray itself as Ego. Your shadow might portray itself as ego, maybe thinking you're better than people, or thinking your gifts are better, or thinking maybe that you know more. And I'm hearing it's because you do. Not to be a dick to everyone else, but you truly do know more. I feel like you guys have been incarnated again and 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 again. You guys have had so many lifetimes. So many lifetimes. So your shadow might come across as ego. And it's just because you're truly right. I feel like for most, you can't always be right, you know? We're human. There's still room for error. I heard chosen ones. Some of you are the chosen ones. But we have right here biased. I feel like you have a very hard time. Your shadow, it's sort of like wanting to always, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's not a God complex. It's sort of like the fixer complex. Like where you feel as though you have to fix everybody. Sort of like pile number one, but a little bit different. It's sort of like you feel like you have to enlighten people. You feel like let's say like you know that certain things should be like this, or you know certain things about certain, whatever it is. Whatever it is that you specialize in, whether it's spirituality or like your job, your profession, different things like that, you feel as though you have to educate people in this field. And Spirit's saying it's not always your job. I'm hearing that one audio where it's like God will put you in the room before the room knows who you are, so that you can see how everybody in the room acts, basically. I'm hearing, because there's also another part of that audio, I forget who said this, like that was such a great audio. She was like, who cares if they don't see the grace and anointing that God has put on your life? Let them sleep. Who cares if they don't see how powerful and amazing you are? Let them sleep. Yeah. Because the chosen ones, we go so underestimated, and we get looked at like we're crazy and fucking, and like, you know, like what the hell, until shit starts happening that we predict, or until shit starts happening that shows other people that we were right, and then people believe us. So Spirit's saying you don't need to try and force anybody to believe you. You don't need to over-explain. You don't need to overextend. You don't need to overdo it. Allow people to learn their lessons the way that they need to learn their lessons, because you don't always need to fix people. You don't always need to be the one that enlightens people. It is a little egocentric to feel like you're the only one who could be, you know, who could possibly take on this role of enlightening. Or, you know, sometimes people need to come through to these decisions by themselves. And it might be a little difficult for you guys, because it's like you're constantly being put in front of people who could benefit from the knowledge that you have. And then I feel like when you share this knowledge, people either don't understand, or either people truly just don't understand you and they look at you like the chicken with his fucking head cut off, or they act like they understand, but you truly know that they don't understand. So Spirit's saying don't over-explain, don't overextend, none of that. None of that. Allow yourself to know what you know in peace. Allow yourself to be enlightened in peace, you know? There was something that was like, the tiger doesn't explain his ways to the something. I forget what it is, but it's basically just saying like, fuck. Sort of like, you don't really need to explain your truth. You know, like, why would a king stoop down to a peasant's level? Not trying to like give you like a big head or anything, but that's sort of like the energy that like I'm getting here. It's sort of like if people don't understand or if people don't get it when you tell them, don't continue to beat a dead horse. Sort of just allow these people to be in the energy that they're in, because likely they're not getting it at that time because they're not ready to get it. You know? Okay. I really feel like that's all we need to address with your shadow. Because I feel like your shadow is just like ego. It's just ego. Just maybe like, it's just that savior complex. That's what it is. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Or that enlightening, like, you know, like having to enlighten people. We have emotionally detached. So these are 3 different shadow aspects that might or may not resonate with you guys. So we have emotionally detached. Are you protecting yourself from unwanted drama or stress? Feel positive emotions within yourself. To feel emotions is to live freely. You guys might be emotionally detached when it comes to like helping people with certain things. Because it's like you give these people all the information that they need. But sometimes what you guys need to learn here is that when people come to you, even though you might have the tools and the information that they might need to be enlightened or to learn something different, sometimes it is not your place to tell people to do something different. Sometimes it is not your place to overstep, you know, and push people into like these awakenings. Like, I feel like you guys do awaken people, but sometimes you take on that responsibility of awakening people way too personal, and you don't always need to do that. And you might become, instead of like allowing people to come to you and just vent and being that loving shoulder to cry on, ear to listen, you guys turn into that lecturer. And sometimes people just need that ear. We have resentful. Think loving thoughts for the person or yourself that you resent. Is it restricting your emotional happiness? Might be a lot of self-love that you need to work on here too, especially in the fact that all this bullshit happened to you in your past life. Might really need to work on the self-worth issues and the self-respect. Negativity. Let go of the pessimistic attitude. It's getting old. Think of something positive right now. Shift your thinking. Exactly. Like fucking exactly. Excuse me. So, how do you guys need to move forward, and how can you work on healing from this? We have an 8, and then the devil here, which is, what are you? I think it's 3rd. I forget what number it is, but either way. So with this 88 could be something, could be a number for you. 888. This is very spiritual. The number 8 is extremely spiritual. You guys are extremely spiritual and extremely intelligent and universal. Maybe you guys need to look more into the universe, stuff like that. And the secrets of the universe, sacred geometry. Work on your channeling skills. But with this, how you guys can work on healing your shadow is just simply detaching yourself from everything that doesn't serve you. Detaching yourself from other people's problems. Like I said, letting their problems be their problems. You know, you are not always, it's like this is you, and these are the people that you're trying to help. Trying to tell them like, yo, you can get out of those vines if you want to. But they're like, huh? What? Because in the traditional devil card, this is Baphomet. And Baphomet is not evil. Baphomet is like, wait a second. Baphomet is like the as above, so below. That's why he has his hands like this and like this. I'm sorry, whichever way he does it. I think it's like this. Like, Yeah. But the as above, so below, he is a deity of balance. He is a deity of the earth. He is very, very powerful, and he is not as bad as people might see him, because you'll look at him and it's like, oh my god, the devil, but it's not like that. He's the as above, so below. He's literally in the middle of the spectrum. And what I'm getting here is a lot of people, like, they blame the devil for their problems. They blame the devil for their troubles and stuff like that. And you might blame yourself a lot for seeing people in certain situations. Or you might judge people a lot because of staying in certain situations or doing certain things not the way that you would have done it. So Spirit is telling you to detach from these people's problems, detach from all this shit or whatever, you know, because it's draining you. It is very much draining you. And you can only tell somebody something like so many times until you realize that, you know, they're just gonna have to get these lessons by themselves, you know, because like I was saying, in the traditional devil card, they have like they're connected by these chains on their necks. I don't know if you could really see it because it's a little small, but they're connected by these chains on their necks. But the chains, like the chain around their neck is so big that they can simply just bloop, you know, and take that shit off. They can just take it off so easily, but they instead allow themselves to stay consumed in this devil energy, you know, stay consumed, stay so connected to their problems, you know. And so, but what I'm getting here is the way that you guys could definitely help yourself heal from this trauma and these shadow issues and move forward is by just allowing people to do what they want to do. Like, simply just allow yourself, instead of unless somebody comes to you asking you specifically for advice, I would recommend just being that ear for them to listen, you know, for them to listen to them. Yeah, we have retreat right here, and then we have be of service in the reverse. Wow. Keep your commitments. Trust the divine plan. Know that everybody is going through the things that they're going through at the times that they're going through them, the way that they're going through them, and the way that they're dealing with them for a reason. Okay? Anything else? Reach for the stars. Laugh at your demons. Where was that? Here we go. And take the lead. Like I said, you guys were leading that collective. Maybe you guys are like content creators, spiritualists, stuff like that. And then we have be decisive. Okay, guys, so take those however they resonate. I hope this reading was efficient. And I hope you guys liked it. See you guys. Love you, toodles. Hello, pile 4. Those of you who chose this little palm stone, this gray palm stone, gray blue fucking palm stone. Yeah. So we're going to be getting to your shadow side today. And we're going to be seeing, sorry, I have to like push that back a little bit so that like, bam. So we're going to be getting into what your shadow stems from, or what this specific part of your shadow stems from, how it presents itself, and how to move forward, how to heal. I guess that's the daughter, the neighbor's daughter. I was way too close to be my daughter. I'm like, what the hell? Whew. But if y'all heard that baby, maybe that's a sign for some of y'all. All right, where does your shadow stem from? We have Justice and the Knight of Wands. I'm getting a couple different things. Some of you guys could have like grown up in the system and was constantly like moving places, or like constantly getting homed with different people, things like that. Others of you could have just had a childhood where you guys were very unstable, moving around a lot, switching homes, Either way, there was a lot of instability in your childhood or in your early life. I do feel as though, you might have had a parent that was like very indecisive, didn't know what they wanted to do, was always changing their work or always changing their rules or the way that they act. You guys might have grown up with a parent that was more of a friend than a parent, who didn't really take on parenting responsibilities as heavily as they should have. I am feeling that you guys. It feels as though you guys didn't get the love and nurturing that you feel you deserved or that you deserved. You guys didn't get that. I truly feel that this pile, you guys didn't get that loving connection with parents that like you should have, you know? Like, I don't feel like you guys emotionally connected much with your parents at all. I feel like your parents might have been very hard on you. Your parents might have been, for some of you, your parents might have been very emotionally present with your siblings or with other children, but never with you. And it just made you feel really, really shit about yourself and like really unworthy. It sort of always made you long for that love, that motherly, that fatherly love, and just never fucking got it. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little angry at whoever raised you. So is Spirit. Because you're a pure soul. And you didn't deserve to get treated like this. You might have grown up in a very conservative family, a very church-going family, sort of a very modest family, very much like cover up, keep yourself covered up, like head to toe type of thing. You guys might be religious and have to like wear like the hijab. I'm sorry if I butcher the name, like the hijabs and like different like religious wear like that. So sorry if I butchered anything. I apologize. I'm just saying that because like, look, he's all covered the fuck up, head to toe. The cloak that this angel is wearing, and usually the lovers are naked, but the girl in the lovers here is covered up. And then we have Justice right here. And then look at the blanket behind her, her cloak and her gown. It's just like all the way down. You might have had like very harsh, very specific expectations brought onto you at a very, very young age. I'm getting feminine energy. I'm feeling like most of you guys could be working from your wounded feminine energy. Your feminine energy might be wounded from your childhood because I feel like it was a feminine most likely for most of you, or a man with very feminine energy who, I feel like it was a female though, who sort of enforced this toxic situation. Okay, so I'm not getting too much more on where it stems from because I feel like it could be so different for everybody. Spirit just wants me to leave what I said, and you guys take that as it resonates. And let's move on to the next part. We have 555. Major changes are coming for you guys, whether or not you realize it. So how is your shadow self presenting itself? The Six of Wands. I feel like you got, look, we heard that baby and look. It looked like she pregnant. Y'all better be careful. careful. If y'all not trying to get pregnant, y'all better be careful. Or not trying to get somebody pregnant, y'all better be fucking careful. And look, another woman in a long dress. I feel like your shadow self presents itself as like you feeling the need to present yourself like you always have it all together. Like everything is okay. You're not struggling. You don't need help. You're perfectly fine. You're not depressed. You don't have anxiety. None of that. You're perfect. You're perfectly fine. You're picture perfect. Life is good. And that's how you like to portray it. But I feel like the reason why this is your shadow side is because you guys are exhibiting toxic positivity. You guys have come from a very negative or a very, I guess, like lower, darker energy, like childhood, very heavy energy in your past. You guys have dealt with a lot of heavy energies in your past. So I feel now in your present, you guys might do everything you can and then some to try and stay out of these negative vibes or to make it look like you're not in this energy anymore. It's sort of like I need to have grown, or like I can't be stuck where I was before. And yeah, that's great. You don't want to be stuck where you were before, but don't push your problems under the rug and act like they're not there. Because that's just going to hurt you and harm you rather than do you any good. With this 6 of Wands right here, sorry, my fucking foot's itching like a bitch. And fucking, yeah, I'm sorry. Whew. I do feel as though you guys might have like a lot of Taurus placements. You might be a Taurus. You might have like a Taurus rising, Venus, Sun, North Node. But there's something here about needing to present yourself and present yourself like good. Like needing to put on your best face, putting your best face forward. That's how your shadow self comes through. Yeah, the 8 of Swords. Your shadow self comes through with like you putting your best face forward in times where you actually do need the fucking help. And what this is doing with the 8 of Swords right here, it's keeping you stuck in the same mental prison that you were trying to get out of. Because you're not dealing with the problems. You're acting like they're not there. And that just makes the problems even worse. Okay? Yeah, we have the Page of Pentacles. You guys don't allow people to see that you're struggling. And if you guys don't ask for anything either. Your shadow self is like so hyper independent and like I'm good, I'm great, I'm fine, that you don't accept help and you allow yourself to struggle rather than receive a little bit of assistance. And this is it's not good. It's not healthy. It's not good for you. All right, can we get any more? We're going to get 3 more shadow messages for shadow aspects that they need to heal for pile 4, please. Wow. So we have quick-tempered. Think before you speak. Put space between your thoughts and the words that come out. You might be very quick-tempered when things just seem to not go your way because of all the things that you've been through in your past, okay? You might have been through trial after trial after trial and tribulation. So now it's sort of like you just get very quick-tempered when you feel like things are not going right. So if that resonates for you, definitely take that. We have unworthy. Think deeply and ask yourself, why do you believe that you are unworthy of the situation at hand? And that might stem from like this childhood as well, especially if you guys were like children who were in the system or something like that, or like you guys did have like these strict rules forced upon you. It's like, why do I have to do this, and this to be accepted? Why can't I just be worthy as myself? I just saw 1111. Yep. So we have negativity. Let go of the pessimistic attitude. It's getting old. Think of something positive right now. Shift your thinking. And I agree with this because hey guys, my shit cut off. I don't know where it cut off. I'm trying to fix that real quick. But yeah, with this negativity, let go of the pessimistic attitude. It's getting old. Think of something positive right now. Shift your thinking. This sort of, to me, goes back to what I was saying about that toxic positivity. Because I'm sort of taking this like reverse. Like, allow yourself to recognize the negative. Allow yourself to see the dark side of things. Allow yourself to see or acknowledge or accept accept the things that you don't necessarily like, or the things that aren't necessarily great, because if we go acting like there is nothing wrong, this is just hiding your problems, not allowing yourself to deal with them, not healing, and it's holding you back. It's going to keep you stuck in that same cycle, that same vibration, until you allow yourself to fully deal with it. Because you guys might be trying to put on like this like tough face. I just saw 1111, trying to act like nothing's wrong, but the universe responds to the real you, not the you that you try and portray. The universe responds to that part of you inside that does feel that pain and does feel that wounding, because that's the authentic part of you. It's not going to respond to the part of you that acts like everything's okay when it's really not. Because that's the face that you try and put on. It's not the authentic part of you. So how to heal these issues? We have the Two of Wands and the Tower. Allowing yourself to do things differently. Stop staying stuck in the same patterns that you've continued to stay stuck in. If you're wondering why you keep on repeating a cycle, this would be why. Because you guys are not allowing yourself to move forward. You need to allow the tower to fall and not build it up the same way that you did before, because it's just going to end in destruction again. The Tower card is all about moving forward after a tragedy and learning from your mistakes, making different, better, more organized choices. And the Two of Wands is all about decisions. Which way am I going to go? Finally deciding. And look, for me, this is her with her foot out. Like, this is her like saying, okay, like, I've got it. I have everything that I need. And now I know where I need to go. And she's choosing to go towards this pole right here. She's choosing to go towards this wand and away from this one that she's been operating with. It's sort of like she's been on this side for so long, and now she's choosing to move forward and do things in a different way, go towards her goals, and maybe change direction, and that's what you're being called to do right here. That's what you're being asked to do, is just to change up your mindset, change up the way that you do things a little bit. Okay, let's get some messages from Spirit. Focus on success. Say no. Look forward. What was I saying? Face your shadow. Face your fucking shadow, y'all. Face your shadow. Stop pushing it under the rug. Allow it to come out and purge. Take the lead. And then we have one more. Wow. On the back of the deck, raise your vibration. And then embrace your power. Because you're powerful. And you're worthy. So stop thinking that you're not. Okay? All right. Love you guys. I'll see you guys later. I hope this reading resonated for you. And that's all I have. Bye. Hey, pile 5, or the people who chose this rock. This reading is for you. I literally just tried to do this reading 2 times and the energy just felt like really weird. Like I haven't looked at your cards or anything, but I was just trying to do your like intro and the energy felt really weird. So I'm interested in getting into this reading and seeing exactly what the fuck is going on here. Because I can't talk, can't think, and apparently I can't even do the video. So this is going to be talking about where your shadow stems from. This is going to be how your shadow presents itself, and then how to heal it, or how to work on moving forward and, you know, dealing with this. So where does your shadow stem from? The 3 of Cups. I'm getting a lot of different things here, but I am going to clarify. I'm getting witch energy here. Some of you guys might resonate with being a witch. Some of you guys might have friends that are witches. Interesting. Where does pile 5's shadow stem from? Okay, I get it. I get it now. I get it. I understand. It's just very different from all the other piles. With the 3 of Cups being clarified by the 10 of Pentacles, and on the back of the deck we have the High Priestess. You guys might have grown up with a very good childhood. You guys might have grown up in a very normal white picket fence type of childhood. You guys, I feel like you guys, when you were younger, if you didn't have a good childhood, this is probably not your pile. But I feel like you guys, you had what you needed. You had what fulfilled you, what made you happy. I feel as though you guys were very content in your childhood. There might be certain things that had happened in your childhood. I don't know why I'm getting this, but trigger warning, some of you guys could have went through like some emotional or sexual abuse. But for the most part, I'm getting that the rest of your childhood, it was very productive, very good. I'm getting loving energy from your parents. I'm getting definitely loving energy from the people around you. And if this wasn't a very good childhood because of your parents, it was a good childhood because of your siblings or because of your friends. I do feel as though you guys, in your childhood, you looked at, it seems like you were very content. Or if you weren't very content, you tried to only look at the positive in things. Because it's like, I know I can't get out of this situation, so I might as well just look at, you know, like what's going on in a positive light, right? And I feel like because of this, your shadow self, you know what? Let's just get into this real quick, because I don't want to say it and then like be wrong. Yeah, I'm not wrong. Okay, so we have, for how does your shadow self portray itself, we have the Ace of Swords and the 4 of Wands. I feel as though your shadow self needs everything to be perfect for it to be okay. I feel as though because you're used to having things a certain way, or you're used to love or happiness or fulfillment or success looking a certain way, you expect it to look that way every time, or else you don't believe that that is it. So like, let's say, you know, you define love as how your parents' relationship was, and you see that relationship to be perfect, or like, you know, like you look up to that relationship, you see it as like a role model type of relationship, you know. Sorry, I'm fucking stretching, my back hurts. But But it's like when you find somebody and they're not exactly how maybe your dad was to your mom or your mom was to your dad, it sort of throws you off, and you're like, well, this can't be love then. This can't be love because this isn't exactly how I imagine, love to be, or how I remember love being, or this could be like, your family always did something a certain way, and so when you see somebody else doing it a different way, or in a way that's like not very similar to the way that your family did it, it's sort of like, why would you do that? Or like, that's the wrong way to do it. Your shadow side comes out as judgment. Not gonna lie, your shadow side, I cannot talk for shit. Y'all need to fix your throat chakra. And I feel like it's more so the listening that you need to fix instead of the speaking up. Because what I'm getting with that throat chakra and with what I'm getting here is that, like, one very hard, difficult lesson that you're learning right now, or that you're being pushed to learn, is your way isn't always the right way. Just because it looked a certain way in your childhood doesn't mean it has to look that way, now. Different people do things different ways. But it's sort of like you guys feel like it's my way or the highway. That's definitely how your shadow comes out. I'm sorry, maybe this isn't for you if this doesn't resonate. But it's my way or the highway, or like, my mom wouldn't do this to my dad, so if you do that to me, then you don't love me. Or my dad wouldn't do this to my mom, so like, why would you do that if you truly loved me? That type of energy. And Spirit saying that you need to separate this is sort of like one of the other piles, I forget which one. You need to separate your experiences from the experiences of those around you, and know that just because it's not identical to what maybe had went on before, or in, like in your childhood, doesn't mean that it's not normal, or that it's not okay, or that it's not love or happiness or fulfillment. Just because something isn't the way that you experienced it when you were younger doesn't mean that it's wrong now. Because you just might expect things to be a certain way because that's the way that you grew up with them being, and that's perfectly fine. But like, don't judge anybody just because they don't do things the way that you do, or the way that you think that they should be done. This could also be like you seeing your parents have a very unproblematic, a very healthy relationship. They didn't really argue in front of you, stuff like that. And then, so when you get into a relationship and you guys have those little difficult problems and stuff like that, you guys don't know how to cope with it. You guys feel like problems are like, as soon as we start to have problems, that's it, that's done. Because my parents never argued. My parents never had these problems, so I shouldn't have these problems either. And if I do have these problems, it means that my relationship, is not for me, or it's toxic, or it's not working out, or I shouldn't be with you type of energy. But that's definitely not how it is. I'm getting for a lot of you, if that is the way that you are thinking, it's just because you haven't seen 100% of what was going on. I feel like with your childhood, like because of this feels to me to very much relate to relationships. Like, judgment period is your shadow side. Like, being judgmental is part of your shadow side that needs to be healed. But I'm feeling like this is majorly about relationships. So yeah. But I'm feeling like the reason why you might have these unfair or unreasonable expectations towards relationships is because you only seen a smidge bit of whatever relationship this was, parent guardian, whatever relationship. When you were younger, you only saw the good parts. Like, for example, my grandmom and my grandfather, they would never argue in front of my mom and my aunt and my uncle. And this had my mom, they thought it was healthy, because you really shouldn't be having big arguments in front of your children, but sometimes it's okay to have disagreements in front of your children so that they know how to handle conflict. This left my mom and my aunt and my uncle not knowing how to correctly deal with conflict, not knowing what way is healthy to deal with conflict. So my mom in specific, I'm going to talk about her because she's the one that I deal with the most. It left her really dealing with conflict in a very unhealthy way, always rejecting conflict, not wanting to deal with any type of confrontation at all, feeling like, if you have a difference in opinion, or if you argue your point, then or if you say your point, then it is an argument, or any type of little confrontation, she'd be like, oh, well, I'm not arguing with you, but when it really wasn't like that. It was just me trying to say my point. And because she had never seen any very good, healthy ways of dealing with conflict and resolution, she wasn't necessarily able to help me in that sense, be very healthy with, conflict when it came to her children and stuff like that. She's definitely learning now. But that's definitely what your pile reminds me of, is that I never seen the conflict, or I never seen these problems, so they must be foreign and they must be bad type of thing. Okay? Any other shadow aspects you would like to tell pile 5 about themselves, please, Spirit? Okay, we got 4 for you guys. And on the back of the deck, we have a special message. It says, knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of other people. Because if you don't know your own darkness, you're just going to see the darkness in other people and you're going to judge them for it. Which is funny because this is your shadow side, is judgment. Superficial. You care too much about outward appearances. Start with your inner work, your value, your self-esteem, and your personality. And this doesn't have to be like, superficial, like you are like materialistic and like two-faced and da-da-da. It could just be always putting on the best face so that people don't feel like you're struggling, or so that people don't see that negative part of you, But sometimes we need to be vulnerable. We have right here obsessiveness. Write down whatever you're obsessing over. Realize that it is emotionally draining you. Get these 2, and then we'll go on to how you guys should work on the shadow. Emotionally overreacting. You are overthinking, which is causing a flood of unnecessary emotions. Fearful. A learned behavior that can also be unlearned. Also, a low vibrating feeling that creates limitations for you and your future happiness. All right, how to heal this shadow. The 9 of Cups. By allowing yourself to have that love, allowing yourself to have that fulfillment and everything. But since this is the 9 instead of the 10 of Cups, it's sort of like bringing me back to the point where it's like knowing that your fulfillment, no matter how fulfilling, it's not going to be perfect. Your love, no matter how unconditional and how true, it's not going to be perfect. Your life is not going to be perfect. You can't search for perfectionism because you will be disappointed every time. You cannot search for perfection. You will be disappointed every time. Nothing in life is perfect. Nothing in life is perfect. No person, no place, no thing. Not even love. Not even the concept of love is perfect. Love still has room for error. Even unconditional true love. So allow yourself to keep on going towards your fulfillment, your happiness, your ultimate dream. but also allow room for error within yourself and with other people as well, and with other different things. Know that just because a problem arises does not mean that that needs to be the end of the situation. You guys might be very quick to end things with people as soon as you see one thing you don't like, or end things in a situation as soon as you see one thing you don't like. And Spirit's saying, please stop doing that. You're holding yourself back from your happiness by nitpicking and micromanaging. Yeah, you're holding yourself back from your happiness. Holding yourself back from your happiness. Holding yourself back from your happiness, guys. Not allowing yourself to go towards your happiness because you're not allowing yourself to change, you know? And then we have judgment right here, which is literally what I said your shadow side was, is judgment. Okay, guys, let's get some quick advice from Spirit. These are going to be self-interpreted unless I feel the need to say something. One more. So we have a card that says bust out of your cocoon. We also have admit your vulnerabilities and rejuvenate. I'm not getting them right now. Then we have tune out distractions. Yeah. Imagine solutions. Go with the flow. And face your adversities. I love the synchronization, guys. I hope this message resonated with you. I'll see you guys next time. That's all I have for you. Bye-bye. I love ya.